So, walking up to the stage, my heart rate has reached approximately 100 beats per minute. To be entirely honest with you, I'm breathing extremely heavily, and I'm just really hoping the mic isn't picking it up because I'm starting to sound a little bit like Darth Vader. Also, the whole picturing you guys in your underwear thing, not so effective. Also, super weird. And honestly, it's hot up here. Like, it's really hot up here. And I'm sweating, gonna be honest with you. And the amount of deodorant I put on before I got up here, definitely not enough. So I feel like what I'm currently experiencing could be best described in the words of a very well-known historical figure. And I'd really like to recite his words for you. So please, listen closely. Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees are weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous. As you know, most of you, I'm sure, this is Eminem. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to what I'm currently experiencing and what my buddy Eminem here is talking about. See, what's going on up here in front of all of you are the symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder. See, a lot of you are also probably wondering, why am I telling you about how nervous and how sweaty I am? Well, the reason is that because we're currently living in a society that still heavily stigmatizes mental health conditions despite their prevalence. See, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, in 2015, there are an estimated 9.8 million adults aged 18 or older in the United States with a serious mental health illness. And the American College Health Association's 2014 National Health Assessment, that's a mouthful, looked at nearly 80,000 students and found that more than half felt overwhelming anxiety and more than a third felt too depressed to function. See, for those of you who are unfamiliar, anxiety feels a little bit like driving down a car on the freeway going 100 miles an hour, except for you're in the back seat and you can't reach the steering wheel. It sucks. Now, depression is a little bit different, and I feel like is best illustrated by Ali Brosh's comic, Hyperbole in Half. A whole lot of nothing. See, one reason that this stigma exists is because anxiety and depression are really hard to see. A lot of times people believe these disorders don't have physical manifestations or don't result in physical ailments. Now, this is entirely false. And to prove this point, I have an image for you. This is a PET scan of a depressed brain and of a brain that is not depressed. For those of you who are unfamiliar, a PET scan stands for flashy brain pictures. This is the part where you guys laugh. That'd be great, thank you. Pity laughs are great. Okay, so as you can see of the PET scan of the depressed brain, it's not functioning at the same capacity as someone who is not depressed. It's not something that you can just get over, it's a hardwiring issue. Similar to this, I have a list of symptoms. Increased heart rate, shortness of breath, sweating. These are a list of symptoms that present oftentimes in someone who's having an anaphylactic reaction or an allergic reaction. As an EMT, if I saw someone presenting these symptoms, that's what would be my first thought. Next, I have another list of symptoms. Increased heart rate, shortness of breath, sweating. This list of symptoms oftentimes presents in someone who's having an anxiety attack or a panic attack. So making the argument that anxiety and depression don't have physical or physiological implications is entirely false. So, hold on a second. The thing is that if this stigma continues and people who suffer with anxiety and depression and other mental health illnesses go about their days without being able to get the support and the treatment that they're required, it can lead the individual down an incredibly dark path. So to get serious with you guys really quick, the truth is that suicide rates in this country have skyrocketed in the last several years. According to the American College Health Association, the suicide rate among young adults has tripled since the 1950s. Also, according to the national data on campus suicide and depression, 1 in 12 college students make a suicide plan. This is a problem. One reason students find themselves kind of overwhelmed by this loneliness and feeling like they can't reach out is they don't really know who they can reach out to or if they do need the help. And according to the American College Health Association, 2/3 of students who are struggling don't seek treatment. Something needs to change. So the solution I'm offering all of you is something very, very simple. It's something that we do on a daily basis. I just am going to invite you to do this much more mindfully. See, the thing is, this is something that you can do the minute that you leave this classroom. The thing that I'd like to ask you to do is to have a courageous conversation. So what's a courageous conversation? Having a courageous conversation is simply being able to look someone in the eye and ask them how they're doing. It's offering the time and the space to respond to you and to listen to them with empathy and compassion. It's being able to notice when someone is a little bit off or just not themselves. We have to look out for each other, and we have to step up. Because according to the International Journal of Emergency Mental Health and Human Resilience, talking is a means to help those confront deeply personal issues, and it assists in improving physical well-being and behaviors. We have got to be bold enough to reach out. I think that it's too common that we walk down the halls, we have our heads down, looking at our phones, and we're not looking out to pay attention to those of us or those that are around us. We need to eliminate the fear and stigma surrounding mental health disorders by just simply talking about them. So hi, my name is Emily. I have generalized anxiety disorder. I've been internally panicking for the last 5+ minutes, and I invite you to have a courageous conversation today.